How's it going, everyone? We've got some major PlayStation 5 game updates to go over in this video. A big title, arguably the biggest game of 2024 in terms of concurrent player count, looks to be finally coming to PlayStation 5. We'll see if it ultimately happens. I think everybody knew at some point it was going to happen, but we'll talk about that. And Dragon Ball Sparking Zero gets a surprising update that I am incredibly excited for, with a new batch of characters getting revealed from a part of Dragon Ball that, let's just say, wasn't that exciting, but I think nostalgia overpowers everything, and with this, it definitely does for me. So we'll talk about that. Right off the top, noted on Gematsu, Palworld is coming to PlayStation 5 according to the list of games at Tokyo Game Show 2024, released by the CESA today. Also should be noted that this list is never by any means definitive, but given how much talk there has been about Palworld on PS5, the Sony Entertainment Group working with Palworld, Palworld teasing it, coming to PlayStation 5, and it just making all the sense across the board, you would have to think that Palworld on PlayStation 5 is at some point going to happen here in the very near future. Now, to be perfectly honest, Palworld has peaked. I mean, that goes without saying. The game was at over 2 million concurrent players back in 2024. However, it's still a game worthwhile to be released on PlayStation. It's a game I guarantee a ton of people will still check out, and just because it's not at the peak of north of 2 million players, look, everything came together for Palworld to be a gargantuan success early this year. It was never going to sustain, north of 2 million or even 1 million players. I believe on Steam right now, it's like 20,000 concurrent players. Palworld is a game that has a finite level of content. It's a pay-to-play game. It's not a live service game that is continually getting content updates. Yes, it's an early access game and content updates are coming, but the idea of the game isn't to keep you engaged in perpetuity so they can monetize it and sell you a bunch of things on the side. This is a game that is sold, and you're supposed to buy it, you're supposed to play it for what it's worth, and they're going to continue updating it because it's an early access, not because it's this game that's trying to keep you engaged forever. That's just not the type of game that Palworld is, and guess what? That is healthy for the games industry. I know a lot of people like to crap on games because, oh my god, the concurrent player count has fallen, and yes, in some cases that's definitely something to look at, especially in the case of live service games, but it's a healthy thing when a game comes out, people enjoy it, they pay their money to play it, they again enjoy it, and then over time, they play the game, they have their fun with it, and it's time to move on to the next game that they're gonna spend money on. This is how the economy of gaming is supposed to work. It's not supposed to be, you play a game forever and ever. All of these games that have a price tag attached to them will fall in concurrent player counts. Black Myth Wukong is not going to sustain over 2 million concurrent players. Elden Ring isn't going to sustain however many players, so on and so forth. And Palworld sold a gazillion copies, and they made their money. Trust me, they are doing fine as far as it's concerned. Now, I do believe Palworld is going to get a resurgence once 1.0 officially releases, and certainly once the PS5 version comes out, but especially with 1.0, when you have all the content rolled out, maybe you can do a physical release of it, and then you're starting to create something and craft something that people are going to get even more invested into. I would argue that, look into maybe having a narrative-driven single-player component. You guys have, so many resources attached to it. I think that would offer a lot as well. We'll see. Palworld is by no means a perfect game, and the survival elements aren't really my cup of tea, but I understand why people do enjoy it, and you can have a lot of fun with it. Look, if you're getting 20 to 30 hours of fun with Palworld, which a lot of people got considerably more than that, but for a $30 game, I think that's a worthwhile purchase. I mean, I'm talking up Space Marine 2, and that game's got a 7-hour campaign, so take it for what it's worth. Alright, moving on from that, want to talk about the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, the latest trailer that has dropped, and it's the Dragon Ball GT character trailer. Let's go. Alright, so a little bit of background. Dragon Ball GT obviously isn't that well received. There's a lot of reasons people don't like it, but a lot of my childhood, I did watch Dragon Ball GT, and I have a fond place in my heart for Dragon Ball GT. And I know a lot of you guys around my age or even a little older, you guys have a fond spot in your heart for Dragon Ball GT. I loved a lot of aspects of it. I am probably one of the few people that loved Goku becoming Kid Goku again. I just think Kid Goku is hilarious, and they harken back to a lot of the original Dragon Ball. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku was badass, and you know, I think that's one of the coolest forms, but I get it. I'm very much in the minority on that. Obviously, you got cool stuff like Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. You got Baby Vegeta. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff out of GT. They showcase Omega Shenron as well. Oob. It's just great to have these characters in the game as well. And Super Saiyan 4, obviously, as far as forms go, I think that is beloved by everybody. GT, as far as the narrative and the whole story of GT, yo, I get why people are down on it. And I haven't watched GT in forever. And, you know, the characters are great. However, I don't think I would go back and watch GT in its entirety. It's just the characters themselves hold that nostalgic place in my heart, to say the least. And Super Saiyan 4 is goated. I mean, that goes without saying as well. You know, you got 10 times Kamehameha being showcased. It's just a lot of cool stuff. I am so excited for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and I don't think this is a stretch to say whatsoever, but I've been throwing out this metric for the game that I believe it's gonna hit. I do believe that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is going to be the best-selling anime video game of all time. I don't think it, frankly, is gonna be close at all. To see the hype and anticipation surrounding this game, this is legitimately one of the most anticipated games of the entire year. And anime games, how often are you going to say that? Across the gaming world, Sparking Zero is legit one of the most highly anticipated games of the year. It is up there with the biggest releases. Your Final Fantasy VII Rebirths, your Black Myth Wukongs. I would throw Dragon Ball Sparking Zero at that upper echelon of the most anticipated games of the year, and that's why it is very obvious why Bandai Namco is making this the first $70 anime video game ever. It's obvious that Bandai Namco sees the hype around this game and people are gonna want to play it quote-unquote early, and they're making a $100 early access edition. They're doing, you know, DLC. They're implementing all of your typical, you know, fighting game stuff in this game, and, you know, that is what it is. That's just the modern gaming climate. I would rather that and a game like this implement everything like that than, like, a cash grab like Naruto X Boruto Storm Connection having a $95 Ultimate Edition. Like, alright, Sparking Zero looks absolutely fire. I'll let it slide. It's out October 11th on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. If you do pre-order, you get 6 characters in early unlock. That includes Gogeta, Super Saiyan Gogeta, and Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, and you'll get Broly as well, which is going to be awesome. And they also note a question mark playable character that they have yet to reveal. I'm hyped for it. I cannot wait for Sparking Zero, and again, I'm going to be very, very interested in assessing the metrics of this game, because I truly believe it's going to be, first of all, the best-selling anime game of all time, which I don't think is that big of a stretch, but I do think this game is going to have ridiculous concurrent player counts. Maybe not, you know, north of 1 million, but I think it's gonna do very effing well. And when I say north of 1 million, I mean just on Steam, because that's the metric we can assess. But this is a game that is gonna be more of a console favorite title. At least that's what I would imagine. But that is gonna do it for me. Again, it looks like Power World is coming to PlayStation 5, which is incredibly exciting. And Sparking Zero, as far as games for the rest of the year, Sparking Zero, Metaphor, which are out on the same day. What are we doing here? But those are probably two that stand out to me as two of my most anticipated. We've got a couple more months, a lot of big titles coming out, in Sparking Zero certainly at the upper echelon. That's gonna do it for me. All of your thoughts down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.